Good morning, I'm Hope Palacio, and today our Tech Talk reporters will be investigating on how one innovative high school in the Sierra Nevada town of Colfax is helping students amplify their education. This is Tech Talk. With me today, as always, is Emma Fick, helping bring you the best stories of innovation from around the world. Today, we are going to Colfax High School, where students are getting amped.
Yeah, they're literally developing personal amplifiers from concept to market by employing the design thinking process taught to all students in their STEM program. We have a series of stories today to show you just how they do it and what they're learning. Reporter Deja Thompson brings us our first story from the drafting lab on the Colfax High School campus.
I'm Deja Thompson at the Colfax High School Drafting Lab, where students are learning the basics of board drafting and transitioning to computer-aided design, or CAD, to bring this alive. Computer-aided design is an efficient way for students to explore the design process without using any materials. Autodesk Inventor, who holds 40% of computer-aided design software market, is a tool of choice for Colfax High School.
So CAD is an online drafting program we use. So we did board drafting, which is on paper, and then we brought it to life on the computer.
Computer-aided design is used by many design companies to increase cost efficiency. These students are getting a jump on it now.
To test the product, we had to make it on the computer to make sure it worked before we made it in real life.
Once again, I'm Deja Thompson at the Colfax High School Drafting Lab, reporting for Tech Talk.
From a blank piece of paper to a scale 3D model, and all of that before they've ever touched any materials. Zero waste and a solid plan. You have my attention, Colfax, but where do we go from here?
Although students are building individual amps, there's a great deal of teamwork and tools that support their efforts in the process. Reporter Natalie Lundberg has a story on how these designers employ the Google Apps Suite to document their work along the way.
My name is Natalie Lundberg. I'm reporting outside the Colfax High School's Media Hub. I'll be investigating how these students have learned to organize and create documents using Google Apps rather than flimsy folders. As you can see, these students are hard at work making documents and creating files. Here is Stella Chavez to tell us a little bit more about what Google Apps are and how they use them.
Google Apps are a series of tools that we use to turn in our work, create more documents, present slideshows, and store previous documents.
Students use Google Sites to create their e-portfolio, where they document all work created in the class.
Our portfolio is about the two different sides of this class, fabrication, technology. And to turn in work for the fabrication side, we normally just take a picture of it and then upload it. And then for technology, it's mostly just Google Docs, and we just upload it from Google Drive.
In addition to using portfolios, students also use Google Docs, Google Drive, and Google Slides. Now, these apps are not strictly for their school computers. In fact, they can be used on many devices.
Google Apps outside of Tech Essentials, when I'm on the road and I forgot to do that assignment, then I'll just go on my phone and use the app, and all other classes use it too.
As you saw, Google Apps is much more than paper folders and is an essential tool for these students. Natalie Lundberg reporting for Tech Talk outside the Colfax High School's Media Hub.
Welcome back. I'm Ben Schwartz here with Rachel Borcherding. Clearly, Google is far more than just a search engine and email provider for these students. Seems like there's been a lot of design work done so far, Rachel, but when are they going to get their hands dirty and build?
That's a fair question, but they're not going to rush into building until they're ready. Plastic molding, wood cutting, and circuit board soldering requires a good plan before jumping in. Reporter Jasmine Owens dug into just what it takes to make these amps come to life.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Owens, and today I'm here at Colfax High School, Mr. Kinsey's Tech Essentials classroom, and I'm going to be finding out how these students went from a digitalized model of their sound tube to their final product.
One of the first few steps that we did in creating our sound tube was wood fabrication. We took a cardboard sound body and we cut a chunk off of it. And so this is what the chunk ended up looking like. After that, we created this faceplate. We also made these sound caps, which pretty much what we did was we got a sheet of hot plastic and we put them around something that was pretty much just the same shape as that right there. One of the hardest things about making the sound tube was the precise measurements. If you got the measurement off by the slightest bit, it could screw up your entire sound tube.
It is to my understanding that these students were under a large amount of pressure to not make any mistakes through the fabrication process. But one cardboard tube can't exactly play music from the phone through the speaker. I touched base with Landon Firestein to tell us more about electronics.
After fabricating our sound tube, we received a circuit board, which basically acted as the heart of our sound tube. So to build a circuit board, you basically just needed a basic understanding of tools, and you needed to learn how to solder, but the hardest thing was probably getting the solder out of the holes it wasn't supposed to be in, and most of the time it didn't work.
Hours and hours these students worked in order to create an amazing outcome for their personal enjoyment. Although this process required a lot of hard work and dedication, these students were able to sit down and get things done.
It's truly amazing how these students made their homemade amp speakers in a matter of a couple weeks. I'm Jasmine Owens, back to you.
Clearly, there is no sitting around waiting to learn for these students. It's hard to believe that this is all done in one term and within the freshman year nonetheless. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, reporter Nolan Muley will take a look at how these designers learn how to brand themselves through graphic design and get ready to join a team of fellow designers to share their work with the world.
Hey, I'm Delaney Walker and I'm in the Pucci Pavilion to tell you about the Amp Up Expo happening here on December 11th. At the expo, there are many different events happening to make it worth your while. There will be work from the Colfax Tech Essentials students on display, art, photos, Colfax technology, and Colfax engineering, all for your viewing pleasure. It starts here in the auditorium with guest speaker Doctor of Education Stephen Coyle at 8 o'clock a.m. and will end in Gym A at 10:30 a.m. Everyone is invited, including you.
My favorite part of Amp Up Expo is you get to watch kids and their curiosity, their innovation, their marketing skills, and you get to see a lot of great projects from all over the school. It's great. I think the community should come to this because so often our kids get stereotyped in not the best of light, and you're going to see the best of our kids. They're amazing when they get a hold of a project that they really believe in and they get to sell it to you, and I think you'll be very, very happy with this next generation of kids.
So as a reminder, come to Colfax High School at 8 o'clock a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on December 11th to enjoy a special presentation put on by the Colfax High School leaders and students. We'll be looking forward to seeing you, your friends, and your family there.
Welcome back to Tech Talk. In our last segment, we saw just how our designers built their amps, but the design process does not stop there.
These students are made aware that there are a ton of great ideas that never see the light of day because the people that come up with those ideas do not know how to communicate their idea or sell their product. Nolan Muley takes a look at how each designer brands him or herself and how they prepare as small companies to share their products with a live audience at their annual Amp Up Expo.
I'm Nolan Muley reporting outside Colfax High School, and we're going to go see how students went from lines and circles to amp skins and personal logos.
Using Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, students learn to create original graphics that establish a personal identity for each designer that set their amps apart from all of the others.
An amp skin is something that separates your amp from the rest. It kind of helps you personalize yourself, and it usually represents you or something you find interesting.
By using basic vector tools, adjustment layers, and masks, students are able to make individualized logos to express and showcase their skills.
I made my personal logo by using basic shapes to create a simple dragonfly, and I used long rectangles to make an M.
The graphic design process takes time as each student starts with a sketch and develops their concepts to a final rendering of the logo and a vinyl amp skin.
I used Photoshop Illustrator once more to make a basic gradient on my amp skin, spreading out to the edges, and then I used the same dragonfly I made for my logo and placed it on the amp skin.
As you can see, students use Adobe Illustrator to create standout sound tubes. Reporting for Tech Talk, I'm Noel Mule.
I don't know about you, Ben, but I can't wait for the Amp Up Expo.
I'm Ben Schwartz here with Rachel Borcherding, and we'll see you next time on Tech Talk.